Rob, everything Star Wars. He's there, I'm here, you are there, someone somewhere. Yeah.
Welcome to Everything Star Wars. And today we're going to talk about Freddie Prinze Jr. Rant. That's right. We're going to break it down this time. I showed you what he talked about. I had a lot of comments, a lot of views on it, which shows me people are really interested in what this guy has to say. He played Kanan on Star Wars Rebels. I think that's how you say his name. Anyway, I really liked his character, but I kind of agree with everything he said, so let's break it down right now.
I did a Star Wars cartoon, so even I get hate from Star Wars fans when I'm like, look, dog, you're just mad the franchise isn't aging with you.
Right.
But that ain't how it works. The first one was for fucking kids.
Right. Yep.
The second three were for different fucking kids, and this one is for kids.
So the first thing that Freddie mentions is that Star Wars didn't grow up with us, and it's for kids. Okay, so this is an interesting point. This could go either way. First, George Lucas did say that it was intended for 12-year-olds, and it was a space soap opera about a family, right? Family issues and family problems, and that's what it was intended. It wasn't about spaceships. It wasn't about all this other stuff, right? So now, Freddie is saying, well, it was for kids. Well, there's a couple of scenes in the original trilogy. Don't think it was for kids, because I know as a child, it bothered me to see a person's arm on the ground with blood, to see two skeletons burnt, knowing that, these were people and they were burnt. To see a monster, a rancor, eat a living being. To see a woman dressed in a bikini. Not that it bothers me any, but you get my gist. How about to see a guy's arm chopped off? Or to see you take off the helmet of this guy over here, and it's not exactly the most prettiest sight, is there? How about death? Are these things that's alone in the original trilogy? The prequels brought Anakin's arm getting chopped, Anakin's leg getting chopped, him getting burnt. And now we're getting to the sequel trilogy, where nothing really horrible has happened, but because it's probably a Disney movie, so I think they made it more aimed for kids. Oh, and don't forget that Anakin, even though we didn't see it, killed kids, even though he was having kids of his own. I don't know if Star Wars is truly for kids. I think Star Wars is for everyone. Because as a kid, it touched me, my parents, and my grandparents. Just saying.
You just pissed off that Han Solo gave the fucking Millennium Falcon to a girl.
Yeah.
That's it.
The next thing that Freddie says was pretty interesting. That we're mad that Han Solo gave his Millennium Falcon to a girl. Well, it wasn't a girl, it's Rey. Maybe you haven't watched the movie. And when did Han Solo give the Falcon to Rey? He asked Rey to work for him. And not only that, when Rey and Finn did possess the Falcon, he entered it and took it back. And he says, tell them that Han Solo took back the Millennium Falcon. So no, Freddie, no. Han did not give it to Rey. And when mad, I don't think any Star Wars fan has ever mentioned the fact that they're mad at Disney Star Wars because Rey took the Falcon. What? What the hell was that all about? Wrong. That's not true at all.
Because Luke Skywalker's Cinderella. Or Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay, he can talk to things that don't speak English and understands what they're fucking saying.
Yeah.
He gets a fairy godfather instead of a fairy godmother who teaches him how to be the best Jedi in the world in no time fucking flat.
The next thing that Freddie gets into, he starts talking about Luke's Sleeping Beauty and Obi-Wan's a fairy godmother. And Luke learns the Force in no time flat. That's not what happened. Luke was a farm boy. And he's like, well, he knew how to talk. Remember, him and his father were very strong, very powerful in the Force, right? So the Force could do things, make an ordinary human being extraordinary. Now, Luke probably didn't understand why. He's probably more intelligent than other human beings. And the Force guided him. Like, how could he talk to droids? Well, he worked on a farm. And working on a farm, he had droids that were purchased to help him. So to understand, he probably had to learn the language, And while he's doing that, they also got 3PO. And 3PO was the one, when R2 was talking, Luke didn't know what he was saying. 3PO had to translate. And not only that, when he was in the X-Wing going to Dagobah, the computer was translating on his X-Wing. So what the hell is Freddie talking about that he knew? And Luke trained, right? In the Falcon, he was getting hit with blaster fire, and then he learned when he had the blast shield down to not trust his eyes, to trust his instinct, to trust the Force. It's all around him, right? Then you get to Dagobah, and he's lifting rocks, doing jumps, swinging. He's just learning. He doesn't know much, and he goes there, and he gets his ass handed to him until he gets Return of the Jedi. Remember, these movies are not like 2 years later. These are years apart. He went back for training. We don't see that. He went back to Dagobah. He probably trained his ass off because he learned that he's not as powerful as his father is. In order to at least stay with him or beat him, he has to be better. He has to be better. He has to be faster. He has to be smarter. So he had to train. But at least he learned the hard way. He knew what was coming. So what the fuck is Freddie talking about? It happened overnight? No, it didn't. The only person in any movie I've seen that happened overnight is not Anakin. It's not the younglings. It's not Mace Windu. It's not Kit Fisto. It was Rey. It wasn't Vader. It wasn't Palpatine. The only Force user, not even Kylo, who instantly knew the Force overnight, was Rey. And if that's a problem to Freddie Prinze Jr., well, that's a problem to a lot of us too. So there, Freddie, you're right. Rey is a big problem with a lot of the fandom because she learned something overnight, not Luke Skywalker. Again, wrong. Well, I've argued the points I could make. And I wanted to think about this before I jumped and just threw this video out there because I really gave it a lot of thought. So you let me know what you think. And basically, I've said everything I think. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something I'm wrong with. And that's possible. And that's why I joined this community. So you guys can tell me if I'm wrong about what I said. You guys can point out, oh, Freddie's right. Is he? Well, and if you're going to give me what George Lucas said, how do you know that? Just because he said so? George didn't come to him personally and say it. Remember that. He got it from Filoni, who got it from George. It's a telephone game. This is what George said. This is how Filoni interpreted it. Filoni gave it to him, and this is how Freddie interpreted it. It doesn't mean George actually said those words. And lastly, remember who trained Ezra and who trained his character. Everybody got trained except for Rey. Lore, original characters being losers, failures. pushing their characters, how great their characters are. End of the Skywalker saga. Okay. Well, Freddie, I don't agree with everything you said, so fuck me, right? This is according to Lucas. I wish I could interview George, because I'd love to ask him these questions and debate and get the answers I'm looking for. I'm not sure George said that, just because you say so. This is Everything Stars. Rob here. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, comment down below, and let's discuss this. Let's discuss this. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Seriously. Let's talk about it.